The open road. Wide, expansive highways going for miles in every direction, filled with possibilities, taking us anywhere we want to go at the perfect pace. Slow enough to take in the scenery, but fast enough for us not to linger in one place too long. The allure of the road trip. Getting in your car with friends and leaving everything behind, if only for a few days. Every gas station, a new adventure. What kind of random junk will you find inside? Crappy food, sugary drinks, meaningless trinkets. It's all so romantic. Driving to work, on the other hand, not so fun. Stuck in traffic, day after day. But at least you're in a safe bubble. You control the music, temperature, and most importantly, you control the wheel. You decide where you go, when you go. It's the ultimate in personal convenience. No waiting 20 minutes for the bus to show up, if it ever shows up. No sharing a cramped train with thousands of other sweaty commuters. Just pure automotive bliss. The safety of sitting in your car, scrolling your phone, or having a driveway moment.
Music is also a part of this tenseness of life.
Yeah, I began playing classical music in middle school and did it pretty intensely all the way through high school. I would practice for 1 or 2 hours every day.
Listening to that song you heard 1,000 times but still love come on the radio. Or the latest news story about the crazy shit that he said earlier. All of it so magical. As I write this script, I'm sitting in my own car, typing into Google Docs on my phone, procrastinating the inevitable. Soon, I will have to get out, grab my bags, and walk into the coffee shop to get breakfast. Somehow, it feels safer in here. I look down at the dirt and old parking receipts from last week and think, I really should clean it out again. But that's a job for tomorrow.
August 5th, 2023. The current time is 2:16 p.m. The current temperature is 75 degrees. The next 1T San Leandro bar departing in 3 and 13 minutes.
Driving is freedom, the illimitable experience of life. My relationship to the world and to others mediated by the automobile. All movements reduced to points A and B. Courses charted according to the demands of capital. The labyrinthine architecture spawned around it untraversable, inescapable, except through its utility. Yes! Yes!
The cities we inhabit cut up into pieces by the infrastructure required to maintain them. Sure, it's messy, unsustainable, and outright harmful to communities, but now hear me out. Have you considered how cool this interchange looks on Google Earth? Checkmate, foamers. Trains can't do that. The beauty of the late-night drive-thru run. Waiting in line to pick up your food only to eat it in the parking lot, gazing upon the acres of asphalt before your eyes. There's something oddly poetic about it all. You know it's not natural, but what other options do you have? And if you had them, would you even have it any other way? The bond you have with your vehicle is unbreakable, at least until the loan's paid off. Insurance, registration, oil changes, maintenance, car washes, the occasional parking ticket or bridge toll, it all somehow seems worth it. Come with me to wash my car. The entrance kind of looked like a forest, which was comforting. I prepaid to get the ultimate wash, so we were off to a great start. As the water droplets began to slowly build up on my windshield, I thought about all the places this vehicle has taken me. 7-Eleven, Burger King, Dollar Tree. I even once drove it from San Francisco to New York City over a few days. My favorite part of this shoddy gas station car wash is when the soap is added and you can see the flashing lights above. It's like real-life ASMR. Wars of words and deeds have been fought for decades over cars. Every time a highway is built or removed, residents fight tooth and nail, some enthusiastically demanding more lanes to fix traffic, speed up commutes, and make their lives just a little bit easier. Some arguing the reliance on cars is destroying our city, causing us to be more disconnected and harming the environment. The conversion of highways into less intrusive uses brings up war on cars rhetoric every single time, until eventually people come around and places that used to be covered in highways become beloved public spaces used by all, oftentimes still including cars. For the average driver, traffic is the bane of our existence. It makes driving, which can be a lovely, pleasant experience, into a chore. We argue we need more roads, more lanes, less trains, and less buses crowding up our space. But when those transit projects end up removing cars from the road, the drive gets a little nicer, the commute a little quicker. That is until funding for transit is cut and we're left with no better option but to drive, except now on smaller, less efficient roads. Our offices and homes, increasingly located just outside the realm of alternatives to driving. Owning a car is nice, but does it have to be mandatory for every errand you need to run? Our cities will never fully be free of cars. They're convenient. They have their place. We love a good road trip. It's therapeutic. The freedom is real, but when we become chained to our cars, unable to move without them, what do we have? The automobile is perhaps the most consequential invention of the modern era, at least in North America. It has shaped our built environment more than any other consumer product. Because of the car, we have gas stations on every corner. Most buildings have parking lots. Entire industries surround car care, from mechanics to car washes to insurance agents to body shops. Roads that used to carry foot traffic, horses, bicycles, and trams are now dominated by motor vehicles, with cyclists and pedestrians being relegated to the edges, if they're even allowed at all. Entire continents have been conquered and crisscrossed by highways, making the gaps between populated areas infinitely easier to cross at your own pace. We have one man to thank for this beautiful interstate system. I'd like to introduce to you President Dwight David Eisenhower.
My fellow Rismericans, I come to you today having mogged the transit-cucked Europores with our superior firepower. And now we must max out our aura points at home. Gasoline gooners will end their mewing streak when they hear this chat. It is my promise to you that we will build the greatest highway system known to man. Foamers biting the curb in 4K, 60 FPS. Who needs a shitty train when we can highway max this land with AmeriCorps goodness? Under my plan, we will be able to roll coal from DC to Chicago in under 9 hours before the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. Adlai Stevenson has been real quiet since my plan dropped. The proposed national system of interstate and defense highways is specifically designed to ratio as many cringe betas in the comment section as possible by routing the glorious asphalt through the central core of our cities. You may ask us, why delete historic city centers to build highways when you could improve bus and train service? And my answer to my critics is wump wump, seethe and cope, libcuck nerds. Besides, look at this cool-ass map. Isn't it beautiful? Pavement princesses and petrochads will rejoice knowing that their dream of a 64-lane mega expressway from Seattle to Miami will one day come true. But it comes with a warning. Beware the pedestrian industrial complex. Ignore their calls to just put my fries in the bag, bro, and press on. The battle for the soul of our nation has just begun. Clip that, chat.
While projects like high-speed rail in California take decades to build and get approved, freeways can go up in a matter of a few years, or even months. Road construction is a constant, to the point where many people joke that their state bird is that little orange traffic cone. Whether you're in Nevada, Michigan, or Rhode Island, everyone jokes about road construction as if it's a unique quirk of their location specifically. Our love of cars is not in and of itself evil, but our reliance on them is programmed into us from birth. The familiar milestone of getting your license as a teenager so many of us go through is one of the most important moments of our lives, and the freedom that comes with it is a beautiful thing. But at the same time, this love of cars has been reinforced through our near mandatory reliance on them outside of a few dense cities. We can complain on r/fuck cars all day about car brains. We can lament the war on cars taking away our freedom of movement.
If I type enough paragraphs-long rants on Instagram to complete strangers with no political power, maybe we can convince the other side to finally agree that I am perfect and based, and they are cringe and wrong.
You can never take away my car from me.
But that's not what this video is about. Views on urbanism and city planning aside, sometimes it just feels so good to get in your car and drive off into the sunset. Sure, I can be a sneaker-cucked walk sale any day of the week. Sometimes it's more fun to be an oil-pilled highway maxer blasting at high speeds across infinite lanes of American freedom. Cars are dangerous, irresponsible, and unsustainable, but they're also beautiful, fun, and cool as hell.
I am car brain. We should all live in our car. I think about driving my car all the time. Without cars, the world would suck ass. If you don't own a car, you are a loser and should be in jail. Everyone should have to drive. Even little babies. I love car companies. I think they should make more money. If you cannot drive to a place, we should demolish it and replace it with a car dealership. I only eat gas station food and sometimes drive-through.
Every day I sit in traffic, ignoring the haters. They just don't understand our lifestyle. They think it's easy to just give up and walk. But if these cringe lords drove a mile in our shoes, they'd never take another train again.
It's no surprise that popular culture reveres the automobile. Some of the funniest or most exciting scenes in movies are car chases. People write songs about how much they love their cars. Some of the most popular genres of video games are racing and driving sims, ranging from realistic to absurd. Even Fortnite has cars in it. We can't get away from car culture. It's a part of who we are. And it's okay to embrace it, at least in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, even if you generally prefer the car-free lifestyle. How do we reconcile these two seemingly contradictory beliefs? I don't have the answer, and I don't expect any of us to have the answer. It's probably trains. Truly, it probably is. Not everyone wants to or needs to drive. And even in suburban areas, there are ways to help reduce our reliance on them while still making the roads safer and more pleasant for those who need to or just want to drive. We've been conditioned to love these machines and the things they do for us. But the worlds they unlock are mostly self-imposed by the design of our environment prioritizing them over everything else. And yeah, not everyone wants to live in a dense city stacked on top of each other, and that's totally valid. But if we are able to properly fund and build high-quality, safe, and reliable alternatives to driving, maybe we can create a better world that will allow for all methods of transportation, including our beloved automobile. Or we could just tear everything up and build 48-lane highways everywhere. That's cool as hell too. Let's do it. I want to take a moment to thank all of my Patreon subscribers listed here. Without their support, I couldn't do videos like this. If you do like my content and want to support me, I have plans starting as low as $2 a month. No pressure though. You'll always be able to enjoy all of this content free of charge right here on YouTube. Thanks again so much for watching, y'all.